Howdy Summers! A few weeks ago, I released my first ever shell challenge. And today is actually the deadline to submit your entries, but don't worry, you have until the end of today to get your entries in. Today's video is not over that. That video is actually coming either at the end of this week or the beginning of next week. I'm not entirely sure yet. But along with today being the deadline for that shell challenge, today also marks 1 year since I uploaded my first video on this channel. And to celebrate, I have another shell challenge for you. And I just want to quickly apologize for this because this is actually the worst thing I have ever made. So this is the shell I've made for you. It is a one-story house and it's called the Koala 1 year shell. So this is absolutely atrocious. It's such a weird shape. It looks kind of like the letter R, but it's not connected up here, and there are a few bump outs on this side. And I honestly hate this build, and this was definitely a challenge for me. There is no walls in this because you get to do whatever layout you want for this. The floor plan in my version of this is so weird. But this is actually so much worse than the last shell challenge I did, so I am so sorry. But I 100% believe in all of you that you can make something amazing out of this monstrosity. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and show you what I did with this because, oh man. If I could do it, you can do it too. So with this house, I took a more modern approach to it because I don't know, something about weird shaped houses just give me modern vibes. I don't know. I think it's the whole like trend of trying to make like something so weird look very cool. Does that make sense? Probably not. But when I made this shape, when I made this house, I was not getting like cozy cottage vibes or really any like cozy vibes from this house because this is just so not a cozy build. I do turn this into like a family home though, so it's what I'm best known for. I admire anyone who can maybe turn the shape into a community lot. I don't know how you would go about that, but if anyone does make it, then kudos to you for finding something interesting to do with this shape because it's so freaking weird. But this was built on a 30 by 20 lot, I believe. I put it on the, I think it's hindquarter something lot in Brindleton Bay. And honestly, like, I am not happy with how this house turned out. I think overall it has to do with the shape of the house. I really wish I would have built something different, but this is what we're stuck with, so I put a lot of work into this. Um, but yeah, the rooms end up being kind of on the small side despite this house being so big. And I think it's just because as big of a house as this is, it's really skinny. So there was only 3 bedrooms in this house. And we don't really have like an office space, but there is a playroom that is connected to the kind of kids area. So we have like the dollhouse and stuff in there, which is a nice addition. I never really put playrooms in my builds. It's just not something I think about. I didn't really grow up in a house that had like a dedicated area for like kids to play with toys and stuff, so that was just our bedrooms. Um, so yeah. I did just do like completely plain white on the outside, which is kind of boring, but like nothing says modern like completely white. So I think a lot of ideas when it comes to like modern styles, like black and white stuff, it's all very clean looking, I guess. So whereas more of like the cozy vibes, which is what I do, is more maybe like darker tones, a little bit more cluttered up, a little bit less spacious. But this is kind of like a big family home almost. With just the number of beds that I put in there, there's the parents' bed, there's a teen room. We got a child, toddler, and a crib for an infant. So ultimately, there's like 5 Sims living here. So it's kind of a big family, I think. But we got some nice space going on. I'm definitely happy with like the living room, kitchen, dining area. This is all and this one section, and I think it actually turned out really nice. It's probably my favorite spot in this entire house. But yeah, I was experimenting with some colors. I was trying to tie in some like greens, and I wanted to fit in some yellows, but it didn't really work out. So I kind of go with more of like a beigey type of couch, but I still think it works. Just very light colors in here compared to some of my other builds where I'm going with like very dark colors. So yeah. I don't end up adding any windows to the kitchen, which I really wanted to, but I was worried about how weird it would look from the front since the kitchen is in that front part, because I would potentially have to have used like some smaller windows because I didn't want them like going all the way behind the counters. So I just didn't end up doing it, which in hindsight, it probably doesn't look good, but like you'll see kind of what I ended up doing with the outside anyway. I don't think it's a big of a deal that we have windows missing in some areas. But yeah, I did try to clutter up the kitchen a little bit. I don't really use shelves in my builds that much unless it's like a bookshelf or something, but I don't use these like open shelves ever. So I did a little bit of that, and I think it worked out nicely. I did kind of have a struggle with some of the clutter though, because I built this without any like mods or custom content in, so I took my mods folder completely out just so I could do another like base game and pack only builds, because you can't really play with these if there's custom content in it because you have to download the custom content. Otherwise, stuff is missing, and I have too much custom content to figure out what's what. So I just took it out so that way it would be easier for you guys to download this from the gallery. But yeah, so I will say taking out all my custom content makes it a lot harder to find good art for this house, because I complain about this a lot, but I just don't think we have very good art choices in The Sims. So we're very limited in like the good art, and it's ugh. Also, this hallway was freaking huge, and I end up struggling with it so much. This area, by the way, my original idea for it was to like fence it off so that way you guys didn't have Sims like trying to go through that little corner. But the window ends up like kind of covering that space anyway, and it's really too small of an area to fence off anyway. But when I tried it, it kept adding the like ground to it, that like platform piece, and if I deleted it, it deleted like the entire trim, and you could kind of see like a glitch in the game through that. So I just decided to leave it open and not worry about it. But the hallway gave me trouble for a while because it's such a big space, the like main area by the front door, that I had no clue what to put in it. And so I decided to make a little like cat area, basically. So we have a cat tree, cat bowl. The bathroom did not fit the litter box, so I had to put that by this little desk area that I made in the hallway. So no dedicated office, but there is a little like kind of office nook. So we're working on the teen's bedroom right now. And for this, I went with this more like teal kind of color, light teal maybe. I really tried to incorporate some of the colors from the bedspread. So we have some like greens, we have some yellows, and that was kind of the main color scheme for this room. I think it came out nice. It's very simple, but I mean, it is what it is. You could also just use it as like a guest bedroom, but there's a TV in there, so I don't know. Maybe you want to make it the main bedroom for like the parents or something. It's up to you. Uh, but yeah, there's really not a lot going on in this room. I actually really like how this bedroom turned out though. So I think it's really pretty, and I really do love this like tealy kind of color. So I think the curtains and actually probably a majority of the stuff in here is actually from high school years. So I don't know. High school years just has some really good stuff. There is like a little whiteboard in there, so maybe it is better as like a designated teen room or maybe like a college student or something. I don't know. So this little computer nook really isn't anything special. So I'm just gonna skip right over that and go into kind of this like nursery area or like the kids area. So unfortunately I had move objects on at the time that I did this, so it's a little bit hard to tell what actually snaps the bunk beds and what doesn't. So I ended up not putting the crib under the bunk bed because I was worried it wouldn't be functional, and so I ended up moving it off to the other side. But I put some blackout curtains in the kids' room because I feel like that would just make a lot of sense, give the kids a little bit more privacy, especially since we don't have like a fence or anything. Not that it really matters because, it's The Sims. Um, but I just thought it'd be a little nice detail, and I'm pulling out some toys for the kids to use, and yeah, this area is probably the most colorful room in the entire house, just because it is kind of a kids area. It's going to be more fun. We do have a dedicated like toddler bathroom basically. So in this bathroom we only have the shower tub combo and then actually two toddler potties. And then I couldn't fit the changing table in like the rooms at all, so it's like right outside the bathroom. It's fine. I told you this is a weird house and I'm not really happy with how it turned out. But I mean, it is what it is. And yeah, I'm sure you guys can do better at this than I did because, like I've said many times, I'm a builder. I'm not like the best builder in the world. I can only do so much. And I really struggle when it comes to furnishing. I'm still working on it, but I don't know. I heavily rely on custom content a lot of the time, so it's a little difficult for me to get out of that habit and actually like use stuff that came in the actual game. But yeah. I do end up turning this inner bit, by the way, into kind of like a gardening space. I know garden stuff is like super borked right now, but I figured it'd be a little like nice central area, and I didn't really want to fill it like with just like flowers or landscaping. So I figured we'd get some like vertical planters. We have some planter boxes around the place, and it's just like a nice little inner bit. So wherever you are in the house, whichever side you're on, you just kind of look out of these giant windows that I have never used before. And you can just see people doing some gardening or whatever. So I've been wanting to use these windows for a long time. I don't remember what pack they came with, unfortunately. But they're so weird and so bulky. And like they look really cool, but they are very difficult to use. So yeah, but we are kind of headed towards the end of the video. I did some like eco stuff on the top here, so we have some solar panels and some like little rooftop windmills. Um, and then I think really the only other like major thing I maybe do around here is that I end up putting lights on like all of the walls around the house. So, and there's really not like a lot of landscaping around, honestly. I got a little bit lazy towards the end because but we have trees around the lot, so there's some landscaping for you, just not any like actual flowers or anything like that. So at this point, I might as well just give up on landscaping. I've never been good at it, and the more I try, I think the worse I actually get at it. So yeah, but we do go ahead and put these like giant lights all around the house. And I think it actually helps to brighten up the lot a lot because this light, or not light, but like the lighting on this lot is so bad. But let's go ahead and hop into the game and I will show you what I have done in a not speed build form. So both the shell challenge and my entry are available on the gallery, and my entry is actually called the Big Odd Home because this is such a weirdly shaped house. But it is 97,801 simoleons, so it's a little bit on the higher side, but not even at 100,000 simoleons. And it does use a lot of packs. I am so sorry. But I have, like, literally every pack and kit except for, like, two Kratos ones. So, yeah. But this is what it looks like in game. And it came out really nice, I think, for what it is. But that could honestly just be my reshade making it look brighter than it is. We're gonna approach this very, very slowly. I do have a mailbox, and there's a trash can off to the side, kind of behind that area. So we are gonna come through the front of this house. Nice big sliding door. And we've got the coat rack and a little umbrella stand here. And then we have the cat tree, and as soon as you walk in, you can kind of look out and see some of the garden stuff, along with like the other side of the house, actually. Which is kind of actually really cool. But we have some of the other cat stuff around here. We're gonna go through this area. We're walking immediately into the dining table, I realize, but I think it's okay. So we have the kitchen and dining area over here. I really actually like the kitchen space. I don't feel like there's a lot going on in it, but I think it has like just the right amount of clutter, and there's still some spaces for your Sims to actually be able to prep and make their food. Then we have the living area over here, which I absolutely love. I don't really use standing lamps in this game because I don't like the way a lot of them look, but I feel like this one actually fits the area pretty well. And I love kind of how cluttered up this area is. I have a little basket of like blankets and pillows, which I think is super cozy and cute. Um, we got a giant TV for everyone to watch. I was thinking about putting a fireplace in this area, and it just didn't work out. So I do have this like giant kind of console table thing underneath the TV, and we got like the speaker, we've got the gaming console, some board games, plants, all the fun things. So that is the main area. I am not someone who really likes to spend time in like the living room, but in this house, I think I would definitely spend a lot of time out there. And then I'm actually gonna kind of go through here real quick because the door is right here. So this is our little gardening space that I was telling you guys about kind of towards the end. So I didn't end up putting any actual plants in here, but the vertical planters and the planter boxes are all ready for you if you want your Sims to do some gardening. And then this is all new stuff from the uh, Greenhouse Haven kit that we just got. So, yeah. So it's a nice little quiet area, I think. I'm sorry I couldn't really fence off the area, but I don't think Sims will be able to get through that little walkway anyway because of the windows. And then coming down this way, we have a bookshelf and just some like cat stuff. In here is the first bathroom. It's nothing special. I don't even think I have art in here. So, yeah, it's a very small bathroom. But through here is what I have set as the teen room. So I love the way this bedroom looks. I think it came together so well. I love all the colors in here. These curtains are probably some of my favorites at the moment. So, and I wholeheartedly think it's just because I am absolutely obsessed with this teal color. I did put an easel in here as well because I realized we really didn't have like a lot of activities in here. So I figured we'd get an easel, and then we end up getting like a computer, and there's a piano kind of further down the hallway. So, unfortunately, this cat won't be pooping in private because there is a window right here that has no curtain, and that's actually just I didn't add a curtain there. So, for once, that is not a glitch of the game, like removing all of my curtains. So, oh man, I didn't paint this wall. Uh, I try so hard and then just like one side escapes me. But this is our little computer nook. I think there should be room for your Sims to walk through here, even if someone's sitting at the computer. But it's a very like dark kind of space without these pictures and like string of lights. So I added these here. And I imagine this could be like family photos. So figured it'd be a nice little detail to add. I'm sorry that this wall is not painted. Hopefully it's the only one in the house that's not painted, because I worked really hard to try to get all of these to be painted. It's a little bit hard. This is a weirdly shaped house. Some walls are going to be a little bit weirder than others. But going through here, we have essentially the nursery, but like more of just like a kid space for like the uh, younger ages. So we have the little infant area. I gave them that little play mat. And then over here we have the toddler and child bunk bed. So I really do kind of like all the colors around here. And through here is the playroom, which honestly doesn't have like too much to it now that I'm realizing it. It's not like the biggest space in the world, and some of the stuff is like absolutely huge. But we have the dollhouse, we have a stuffed animal owl friend, the toy box, a few like extra toys, and then this little like tent thing that kids and toddlers can play in. I did kind of realize after I finished building this and like furnishing everything that I never added in a Wabbit tablet, which is like the most useful thing to have in your Sims builds when you have a toddler, but it's fine. And here is the dedicated toddler bathroom. So we have the shower and tub, or I guess technically the dedicated infant and toddler thing, because you can give toddlers, not toddlers, infants, a bath as well. So, but we do have the toddler potties in here, and then the changing table is right here. So, this hallway is gonna stink, but it's fine. And then we have the upright piano that came with Growing Together. I love this piano so much. It has so many nice swatches on it. Again, from the side, you can see out into the garden area and across the way to the other side of the house. And then I have this giant like planter thing. It is actually kind of going into the wall, but it's not clipping to the outside. Like you can't see it from the outside. So I don't think it's a big deal really. But it does take up a lot of space in this hallway, and I kind of like it. It came with the Blooming Rooms kit, which I don't get to use a lot of the like bigger stuff from that kit. So, yeah. And then here is the last bathroom in this house. So, again, not super duper fancy, but at least it has some art on the wall. It's big enough for that. It is definitely like the biggest bathroom in the house, I think, because it was intended to be like the master bathroom, but I ended up putting the door on the outside because I figured that would allow more space in this bathroom. So, yeah. And then the final room that we have here is what I consider the parents' bedroom. I'm not a fan of like this bright yellow bed, but I feel like it suits the vibe. And if you didn't notice, I have this like accent wall kind of all around the house. So there are some areas that aren't just like plain white. But yeah, I definitely feel like this room has some more neutral vibes, and I did try to incorporate that yellow color from the bed in the nightstands, which I'm now realizing are clipping through this like little thing I did on this wall. It's fine. Everything's fine. We do have a full-length mirror type of thing here on the wall. We have the dresser, and that is the entire house. Yeah, we have the solar panels and the windmills and stuff. Windmills. It's hard to say. And like I said, we do have these lights going all around the house. So at night, it brightens up the entire lot, makes it a lot easier to see. And yeah, I probably could have put some kind of light on the top, but I mean, really there's no point because we don't use the space at all. So, which in hindsight, I probably should have put some kind of way to get up here because I think the windmills can break. And so your Sims may actually need to come up there to like fix it. But it's fine. If you want to do that, you can totally just put like a ladder somewhere, maybe delete one of these like half walls or something, or I don't know. But that is my entry for my shell challenge. If you are interested in participating in the challenge, the actual shell is called Koala 1 Year Shell, and it's available on the gallery under TheSimmingKoalaa with 2 A's, which is my ID name. And you can upload your entries using hashtag Koala 1 Year Shell. And the deadline is going to be on May 30th. So that is 4 weeks from now, 3, 4 weeks. I don't know. But it should be plenty of time for any of you who want to participate to get your builds in. And I would really appreciate it if you at least made an attempt. Because I know that this is a very weirdly shaped house and it might be intimidating. It was intimidating for me too, and I built it. But that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comments if you are planning on doing the shell challenge. I'm really excited to see what all you guys can do with this very weird shaped shell that I've made. I'm really excited to see what all you guys did with the last shell challenge. Again, keep an eye out for that video because it's going to be out either later this week or the beginning of next week. I have some stuff going on my normal recording day, so depending on how that goes, there may not even be another video this week. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss anything. Be sure to follow my socials. Links are below. I'll see y'all soon. Bye!